It's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
From the 27, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Giants are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to a good start, but then 2 straight losses since.
And now you start to wonder about what this does for a team's morale, how it affects their psyche, because, let's face it, you work all summer pointing toward that opening game, you get the win, but then you don't carry it on from there. How will they bounce back from these losses and try and get right?
13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Throwing, Jones. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a gain of 34. Well, we saw David Montgomery lead the nation a few years back in broken tackles when he was at Iowa State. And he's proven to be difficult to bring down in the NFL as well.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 26. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First down. Here's the run to Montgomery. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
And that's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Santos' kick is up and through. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Bears and the Giants both looking to improve their passing games in 2022, that's for sure. Last year, the Bears ranked number 30 in the NFL in passing yards. The Giants actually one spot worse at number 31. On 2nd and 7, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
Middle with Montgomery, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Going up the gun, Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Fields. Flushed out right. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 19. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 11 yards for number 11.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 65 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now Jones. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Slayton. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. From the 36, Jones. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The throw for Tony is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On play action, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. Oh, what a juke into space. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Montgomery on the counter. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 137 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set. 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Montgomery. Bowling his way into the end zone for a touchdown. So how about this start to a year? Fantasy owners take note. 2 rushing touchdowns in the opener. 2 more here in week 2.
So a nice pickup by 2 entities. 1, this team for making sure they acquired this guy. And 2, anyone who plays fantasy who has him on their team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First target, first catch, and a first down. Operating from the gun, Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To throw again on second down, Jones. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bears are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 29, Jones. And he lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And now here is another interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off play action. Fields. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Darnell Mooney, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
On 2nd down and 4. Jones being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields steps away. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Running left, Montgomery. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, It's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And they'll indeed take a knee. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you force turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for Chicago, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, For the bank and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking a from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I pick up when I call it. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Running like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the